pertinent for every senator to know that a special advisor to the governor is the chief suspect in my state. Mr. President, I can name the name. Everybody knows. Mr. President.
Anybody, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is innocent. In anything you see in security, state government are the ones orchestrating and making money out of this whole insecurity stuff. Now, when those
several battles that are taking place all over the country have become what I can describe as an enterprise. It is very, very clear that the dramatist personnel in the war theater in the Northeast are not interested in ending the war, because the war itself has become a very fat cow that is being milked on a daily basis, and people are generating a lot of money. Otherwise, there is no reason whatsoever, Mr. Speaker, for the embarrassing reversals of the successes achieved, especially from 2015 to date.
But it is the government in power, and they should do the right thing. What are the right things? We take only one example. The governor of Kebbi said that somebody ordered troops out and people were kidnapped. Till today, nobody in Nigeria knows what happened, and no question has been asked. And we are sitting down here as a parliament, and we turn and we talk. Yet, somebody is responsible. If I'm the commander-in-chief, not once, not twice, special supplementary budget to support our armed forces arising from the request of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those requests were not meant for the armed forces to buy ice cream. It wasn't meant for them to do tobola in military nightclubs.
Mr. Speaker, when I contested election, I visited all my constituency, and I know the risk I took to follow all these areas. I have sacrificed my life. I am not stupid. I know the consequences of unveiling a masquerade. I may be declared dead tomorrow, but I will be happy to die if my people can live in peace, can go back to their farmlands, schools can be open, people can go to school, so that out of school children can be out of street.
But you cannot just sit down watching them to do whatever they feel like doing simply because they are professionals. You cannot talk to them. Give them targets. During Jonathan, we brought mercenaries. They were about to finish Boko Haram. But because of our complacency and personal aggrandizement and personal interest, we asked them to go back. And we are still battling with the issue. I was in Borno State as a member of a state house of assembly when the mercenaries were in Borno. There were less than 30. They operate in a place like this. Everybody with a laptop before him, observing what is happening in the bush. The moment they discovered an enclave, they will be able to identify how many weapons do they have, what kind of weapons are they using, how many AK-47 do they have, how many explosives do they have. They will take only 3 or 4 people in a chopper, go and clear everything. They will snap pictures before clearing them and bring back exhibit. We are about to finish it. And because of interest, personal interest, that if we allow mercenaries to finish this thing, we are not going to get anything. How much was the bill given by the mercenaries? Even Russia is employing mercenaries to fight for them, isn't it? Are we stronger than Russia? Is there anything wrong if you can bring somebody that can fight for you? There's nothing wrong in that. So I'm sorry if people are saying that National Assembly is not doing the needful, National Assembly is not providing the enabling laws. We have provided all the enabling laws. The enforcement of such laws is not ours. If government is not ready to implement, there is no way we can compel government. The only thing we can advise government. If government refuses to do it, there is no way you can force them, because they have the machineries for implementation. You do not have.
I belong to. Mr. President, I'm representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege. Mr. President, when we are saying that 5,000 women, including underage, are raped and molested, Mr. President, not by me, Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave. Because there is just no point, Mr. President. Somebody cannot do this. Mr. President, it is pertinent for every senator to know that a special advisor to the governor is the chief suspect in my state. Mr. President, I can name the name. Everybody knows. Mr. President, I thank you so much, like you said, for accommodating. Yes, sir. But Mr. President, we are all under you here, and you have to give us equal treatment, and you have to deal with us fairly. I was very happy when I reported this case in the first time. You said that my personal safety is of your concern, and you accepted. We let these papers. Mr. President, if I come back, I need to report to you and before my colleagues what happened. Mr. President, how can somebody sit down as an official of the government that is being accused of masterminding these things? And Mr. President, you say you don't want to hear that? Mr. President, you need to know.
No, I didn't say I don't want to hear. What
I was also told that during the in 1999, at the inception of democracy in Nigeria, we had 70 military officers. Today we have more than 1,000 officers, and nothing is being done. This thing is going on every day. People being killed, kidnapped, and everything. Mr. President, this Senate need to ask some questions. If these military men are not answerable to the governor, or they are disobeying him, the governor needs to say that yes, the military are not under me and they are not taking my instructions, so that this Senate or the federal government can take a position. It is just not enough to heap blame on the doorstep of the federal government. When you don't allow members of your National Assembly to discuss anything, you don't allow anybody to take it, you don't allow media to take anything. Mr. President, my zone is under siege, and I will continue to say it on this floor of the Senate, sir. Unless I'm allowed to do it, I will resign from this place and go. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
To be a platform for these other things we degenerate. I've been very, very accommodating on this issue. So what I will appeal as an elder statesman, because a member of this red chamber, is to give us a summary of these issues and let us try and keep within those confines. I will really make that appeal to you. As a senator, yes, President Special, I will agree that you listen, but try as much as possible to keep within that confines.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, the whole thing is a bit complicated, I would say.
Yeah.
The military are doing everything they can. In fact, especially the ones in the forefront fighting, they are doing the best they can. If you see, it's been years since they've been fighting against terrorism, and you know all sorts of in Borno State and everything. I think without the military by now, that state would have been overrun. So I'd say they are doing a good job, but at the end of the tunnel of whatever they are doing, there is still a lot of political games being played.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, of course. You see some of these attacks, these are politically motivated attacks. Now let me put it very clear to Nigerians, because normally when I come on live or anywhere, they know what happens. I get to put out whatever. Now you look at these attacks happening from the period they started. It started around the political, in fact, campaign period, preparations for elections and all that. Now, the women of the Goshe, that is the 460 women and children. They were what? They were, at a specific point, you see the media talking about they were rescued, they were this, they were that. We did the mediations. I spoke to those people. I put those people into a position whereby they had to make a demand. Because initially they had no plans of releasing those people.
You spoke to the terrorists?
Of course, I was the one who made all the process. The video you saw online, I was the one who directed them to get that video for us. Okay. You know, it took me around 2 to 3 weeks communicating with them until I got to the top, you know, end of wherever I was supposed to reach. We had those discussions. They agreed to make the video proof of life. One thing Nigerians don't know, they made a first video. The first video was not good enough. I had to still tell them to make another, which kind of brought some, you know, and all that, but it was settled. At the end of the day, they made the second video and the world got to see. So now, when the whole process came to a specific point, when the mediations came to a point whereby monies were to be paid, Let me quote and make it clear, ransoms was paid. Keep it aside,
From
we know that. Yes, of course. Okay. Ransoms was paid in billions.
How much?
Around 5 billion was released.
By who?
Well, you want to call it the federal or state government, but ransoms were released. Now, those ransoms...
Was it by the federal government or by the state government?
You could put it as state government, federal government collaboration, because if there is a lot of outcry from the people, bring our people, bring our people, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sorry to say, I'm not a political supporter or anything of anybody, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is innocent. In anything you see in security, state government are the ones orchestrating and making money out of this whole insecurity stuff. Now, when those monies was almost paid, as Senator Ali Dume, I quote and I quote again, as Senator Ali Dume, according to what they told me, and I have evidence to back that, they said there is a media person that calls himself a media person, a second mediator. He is them Senator Ali Dume, and government person. They told us to communicate with him. It is only through him that monies will be paid. Monies will not be paid through anybody because he is their in-house mediator. Do you get what I'm saying? If terrorists are able to tell you that there is an in-house mediator for government, that monies will be paid only through him, what happens next? I told them, look, go ahead, do the mediations with him, release our people, that is all I want. They said it is fine. Normally, we don't cross who we started with, but we will do it since you decide you are fine with it. They went ahead, they made the mediations, they received ransoms. Now, later, they complained to me that the ransom they received was 1.9 billion, whilst 5 billion was released. Where is the 3 billion 100 million, specifically? Who was the mediator sent in? They said it was a Senator Ali Dume mediator. So where are the monies? I have been speaking about this for a long time. You don't see DSS bringing in, okay, let's bring in these people. Let's see, let's investigate, let's get facts together. You don't see NSA saying anything. At a specific point, I try reaching Nuhu Ribadu. In every aspect, he says my call, he does not pick. Because at a specific time when the conversation started, I got his number through the same Senator Ali Dume. But when mediations and all the process was on and set, monies was about to be paid, the conversation just cut all of a sudden. Then later, they now told me, because they tell me certain things. They told me, look, they sent in a different mediator. They said monies can only be paid through him. You know? So where are the rest of the money? So when we said literally state government is complicit, I don't know about federal, but I know of state. And presently, the children in Musa that were kidnapped, I started another mediation with ISWAP. One of their people now confirmed to me that the Borno state government said, are they in mediations with Borno South Youth Alliance or Bosia President or anything? If they are, they should not, that they have who they would run their whole thing with and everything. All of a sudden, Borno State Government Commissioner at a forum played a video, a 9 seconds or is it 18 seconds video of the children being held by ISWAP. Where did he get the video? All of a sudden, Borno State Government don't do things like this. Now, because we came into a mediation and we are exposing certain facts about monies being paid to certain people, all of a sudden, they now start talking to some of these cells that don't talk to these people. At the end, we have our own in-person. Now, we played something psychologically. We did that because we wanted to what? We wanted to trigger the state government to go in first before us, which they later bite to the bait. And now you have a commissioner playing video of the people that were kidnapped. And we already said they are literally involved. They keep extorting the federal government, Now Tinubu is there sitting. They bring problems to him. Our state, they've kidnapped, they've done this. What do they want? How do I solve this problem? They said they want 5 billion, they want this. What has the military done? The military has tried, but they will kill and all that and everything. Then Tinubu goes like, okay, it's fine. What do we do? Let us solve this problem. Then he releases funds. State government gets her own. Some of the political powers in the state get her own. Then what? The terrorists get a cut of it, 5 billion. Imagine them getting 1.9 billion. This is something they told me, and we have everything evidently. There is nothing to hide here. And we are tired. That is why we are speaking out now.
You said, I don't know.
Yes.
You said so many things.
Yes.
And I've just been listening to you.
Beautiful.
First of all, you've accused Ali Ndume of being the mediator with...
He sent in, the state government sent in together with a mediator from Senator Ali Dume. They confirmed it to us.
Then you're also accusing the president of being complicit in the sense that he releases money. Hold on.
Yes, go ahead.
You're accusing the president of being complicit in this because he's releasing money to give terrorists, despite the fact that we are constantly being told that we do not negotiate with terrorists, we're not paying money.
Yes.
You're saying the president used to release the money.
you do not negotiate with terrorists. How do you think some of these processes have been done?
We thought that the military was destroying the bases and rescuing.
For the Goshe? Military, there is nothing. We all know, they know, we know, and we all know. You know, we all know there was no rescue. There is evidences to all this.
These things, these accusations, can you defend yourself? When
I can defend it to anywhere. Anywhere. I have been waiting for them to come up, especially Dume. I have been waiting for him to come up to say, it's a lie, it's not this. Then we have been dropping a lot of evidences. They have been paying a lot of media houses to block whatever we're doing for it not to go out. We've been dropping evidences. People said, in fact, he paid a specific group of old people to come out and say they are debunking, they are doing this. These are his in-house old people. We all know from Borno State.
Who are you talking about? Alindumi?
Yes, of course. He paid Goshe stakeholders something to come and say Borno South Youth Alliance, this and that and this, that they did not do this. They blocked some of the people they literally rescued. They told them, keep quiet. Do not say Borno South Youth Alliance helped or, in fact, mediated in any way. Do you know what we did next? I released a voice note conversation of myself with one of the terrorists. Yes, one of them, one of the commanders.
How do you know these terrorists?
It's a complicated process. I have been fighting for my grassroots for a long time. I believe in fighting for the common man. And I've been doing that. In fact, when I reached out to them to begin mediations, they knew me already. They were like, oh, yeah, we know of this your organization, Bosia, yes? You people have been fighting for your people and all that, you know. So it became very easy. Now, another thing you should know is some of these villagers, they know these people, you know. So if they trust you and they know this is somebody fighting for us, if there is a problem, they could get you whoever contact you want to get.
Are these terrorists, are they part of the community or are they outsiders? Is this?
They are part of the community. Some of them are outsiders. It's a mixed situation.
Mixed situation.
Yes, definitely. It's a mixed situation. So with that being said, you look at this. So when you say we are accusing, we are doing this and that, I did not accuse. The terrorists said it with their own lips, and I have everything to back it up.
Samaila.
Yes.
When you go to meet these terrorists, have you ever told them not to be terrorizing?
There are specific things that you get to hear from some of them.
Have you ever told them, leave our people alone?
I do that, of course. Now let me ask you, did you see the Oyo people problem when it came? Do you know they executed somebody, they beheaded somebody?
Yes, we watched.
Do you know at a specific time they lined up around 15 to 25 women and children? They video called me, they were about to slaughter them off. Because the government was not cooperating fast. They needed, let the money come in fast. What are they? They told me, look, you know something, you are too lenient and your ways are too, and we understand. Allow us to kill 15 to 25 on video. Let us slaughter and keep the heads beside. When we do that, you will see our government, they will start calling you on phone. They will start calling you by themselves. I said, please.
Do you support, yes. do you agree with this?
I don't agree with anything. I don't like bloodshed. If I wanted or I like bloodshed in any way and I wanted money out of bloodshed, when ransoms was paid, I was asked if I needed something. And I said, no, I don't need that. And if anybody wants to argue with that. Because that's going to be my
next question. Are you getting a percentage when these payments are made?
When that happened, I was asked, if you want something, so what do we do next? When the whole process was done, they later discovered, in fact, the other mediator cut them off very well and all. When ransoms was paid, we communicated, and they told me, do you need anything? Okay, what should be done now? I told them, look, I don't need money. And I have evidence to back that up.
Samala, when we are looking at insecurity as a country, all of us, we're looking at it. We're hoping that one day it will end.
Yes.
We're hoping that these terrorists will leave us alone. Let's have peace. Let the kidnapping stop.
Yes.
Is that something that you see happening?
Yeah, well, in a specific aspect. The reason why I started Operation Sulhu da Zaman Lafiya, that is OSL, we wanted to stand in or be the gap between the local population and those people attacking them. We wanted to boycott their sponsors, you know, and all. We wanted to be those people that can speak light and speak sense into them, whereby if there is an attack, we can ask. And we established that. And these few days, we had some conversations. They agreed that, look, if OSL is going to come in, we will be willing to have some discussions. I asked them clearly, I said, look, can we stop all this? He could not answer me because he is not whoever is in command. A few minutes later, he answered, look, we cannot fully stop whatever is happening because we are doing the work of God. But we can what? We can have some understandings. I said, look, my locality and our people, our zone, our 9 local governments is my problem. If I'm able to broker a deal with the government under OSL. Will you people listen? They said, but we're already doing things with you. If it comes through you, we are willing to listen. Because already, now let me expose something to Nigerians. I don't care what goes down. Do you know presently, Boko Haram have not made any attacks since the release of the Goshe women? They have not done one attack. And it's confirmed and it's well confirmed. They all of them, they know. I know, but I'm not part of the system. So I need to speak out for my people because that is what brought me here now. You get? So presently, out of the conversations we had, I told them, look, there is something I'm trying to do, OSL, Operation Sulhu de Zaman Lafia. You know how I carried out the whole discussions between me and you people with the Goshe women? They said, yes, and we are happy with it. We don't have a problem with you. I said, fine. You know I went the truth and everything. What you people needed was what I said. Whatever the process finished and whatever monies you people received, I did not collect a penny and I don't want a penny. Whoever you did your negotiations with were the ones who did whatever. They said, yes, we don't have a problem. I said, fine. This Sulhu de Zaman Lafia, I want us to have something. We will ask you people to probably lay down your arms for 2 months, 3 months. Then from there, we see where it goes. You know, we want our farmers to be able to go to farms and farm. We want our people to be able to go to the bushes and fetch firewood.
What did they say?
They told me, yes, it's fine, we can work that. But do you know presently we are having that with the government already? Yes, presently, us and the government, through their mediator, we have a 40-day ceasefire program between us. So for now, we are on break. So Boko Haram is in mid-time break right now. Let me put it. Sorry, Nigerians, it is sad, but they are on mid-time break.
My colleague, Ayo.
Yes.
He has a few questions.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Ayo.
Well, thank you, Kayla. It's very interesting to listen to some of the things that you have said. And I'm just wondering, if you have all this information, you have all these relationships, I'm wondering where you think the place of security agencies is in all of this. Because governors have said it over and over again, that these terrorists are not ghosts, they are not spirits, they are human beings. They have said repeatedly that we know these people. And you are confirming it now that these people are known. Now, if you know and have all of this information, when is it all going to come to an end? Because from the information coming up from even the Borno state government, they are saying that insecurity is going to reverse the successes that the state has scored in education. And you're saying now that insecurity is not looking like it is going to end. So wouldn't it be, those who are listening to you now will wonder why you are not giving all of this intelligence information to security agencies so that all of this nonsense can stop once and for all?
All right. Thank you very much for your question, I think, Ella. Look, let me just make things very clear. I like going straight to the point. I don't have anything to hide. Reality is here. Now, you said the state government said something about reversing their policies and all that. Who were the ones who negotiated with them? Who received those ransoms and cut out part of those ransoms and all? The security agencies are doing their best, but we have state politicians doing everything possible to make sure they make business out of it. You know, and all. Now, talking about we know some of these people give security agencies, let me make something clear to Nigerians. Senator Ali Dume has been blocking me from talking to everybody, NSA, DSS, early times before there was even a video. I communicated with him. He blocked me from talking to Nuhu Ribadu. He blocked me from communicating with Nigerian Army. Do you want me to go to them? I am an independent individual and I run an organization. The government is supposed to come to me if they need anything like that. I started Operation Sulhu de Zaman Lafia. Borno state government and Senator Ali Dume are doing everything possible to block it from coming to To reality. If a federal government wanted to get the truth, they cannot be working through the state government directly. They should, in fact, bring in private individuals that can give them a parallel report. Then they investigate. If not, the business would want to continue. Now, Boko Haram is on 40 days break. If they want to argue, let them argue. Then I will release an evidence to that. They know and I know. There's nothing to hide. So if they're on 40 days break, people will feel like, oh, wow, some people are working, something is happening. But if they are able to mediate and tell them to hold on for 40 days, to hold on for 30 days, then continue, then who do you think should be investigated? The state government. Why do you think Makinde is asking for an external investigation? I asked for an external investigation. I have been shouting. They've been paying the media to block the voice. You know, why do you think I'm asking that for? Because we want this to end. Why do you think I started OSL? Because I want this to end. Why do you think I come on live TV speaking this way when there are a lot of people that this would affect their businesses and they might want to come after you and all, which we don't care. We are ready for whatever, you know. It's because we want this to end, my brother. We want some of these things to end. Then we want to communicate. We want to bring some things to the table.
Okay.
Guns have been used for a very long time. Bombs have been used for a very long time. We have seen where the process went. If we have people that can come into the picture in the grassroots level, speak to these people and get things happening. In fact, the release of these people, there was zero casualty. Understand it was because of strict mediations and what? Concentration on the mediation. If I release some of the voice notes of me pleading with them, you would understand that, wow, this was a lot of work being done. So if we have something like what we brought on table, but the state government is blocking it from the federal government, what? Okay, coming into the whole initiative and what? In fact, putting it in place to end this, who do you think is complicit to all this?
Well, it is not news, if you can hear me, sir. It is not news that
Go ahead.
the states, Nigeria has cooperated with civilians before. After all, there was a time in this country we had the Civilian Joint Task Force. So the intervention of civilians is well recorded in our history, documented in our history. Now, I don't see how anyone really, listening to all the things that you have said and all the things that you've been doing, I don't see how any politician can stop you, because here you are. If anyone was trying to stop you, there is no way they would have been able to stop you. They would have been able to stop you from coming on TV, on channels television in particular. But here you are. So I do not see anyone being able to stop you. Now that you are getting this opportunity, what are your expectations? I hear you say that the federal government should come to you. Yes, that could happen. But how about you also make the overtures? Because, as you said, your objective is for the sufferings of your people to end. If the mountain will not go to Muhammad, let Muhammad go to the mountain. The objective is what you have said. Let the sufferings of the people end. If you know these terrorists, as you have said, it is a patriotic thing for you to, whether you're going to write, whatever it is you're going to do, send some evidence to security agencies, to the military, to the police, to whoever, and say, this information I have, and I think we can put all these people to bed, all this situation to bed once and for all.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. You spoke of civilian JTF presently. Yes, they are doing good. They are civilians. These are civilians with guns. They can go into the bushes and fight each other. They don't look each other eye to eye. You cannot even have a communications between them. You know, there was a specific situation whereby they had a fight between themselves and all. They just sent me a video randomly, and I opened and I saw they beheaded some civilian JTFs. You see? So, do you see me having a gun now fighting? No, I don't have a gun. My weapon is my words and what psychological understanding of my grassroots. You know? And this is the reason why we feel the government needs to what? Come into whatever we have in place. We were able to mediate for the release of the Goshe women. There was no casualty. The one in Oyo, there were casualties. We did something big. This is, in fact, quote-unquote, the biggest, in fact, non-casualty release of any kidnapped victims or individuals in Africa, I would say. It's 300 plus that were released, you know, and all those things. So if you are telling me to go to the government, what if Mohammed being in the mountain has some people around it protecting it with gun? How do you go there? You can't go there. The government is large. The government is seeing me. They know what I'm doing. The security agencies know what I'm doing. They've seen it. In fact, they know it. So if they were to see, look, this guy has an OSL, and he says, okay, something like this can happen. Why don't we go on a 3-month trial? Then we go on a 3-month trial, then we see where it goes. But because certain people know if we are to come into the picture, we are not going to favor anybody. We just want an end to this. So if you're complicit to that, we will work towards making sure, in fact, we submit your name in our report for the first month. This person, this person, this person, that person. Just as I spoke on TV now, this was what they told me. We're not lying. Okay, this person that, in fact, sent his own person for the ransoms and all that, this was what they said, this was what they said and all. So, you know, we cannot go to the government when, normally when something from the state is coming, the state government will take it to the federal government. But when the state government is trying to block certain things, then understand there is something they are hiding. Now, the federal government is left to what? set up its own panel of what? Private people that would investigate, private bodies and all, something like what we have OSL, then we give them whatever they need. That is the reality.
Okay.
Indeed, all the several battles that are taking place all over the country have become what I can describe as an enterprise. It is very, very clear that the dramatist personnel in the war theater in the Northeast are not interested in ending the war, because the war itself has become a very fat cow that is being milked on a daily basis, and people are generating a lot of money. Otherwise, there is no reason whatsoever, Mr. Speaker, for the embarrassing reversals of the successes achieved, especially from 2015 to date. Mr. Speaker, part of the resolution of this House must include the total withdrawal of all these armed forces in that area and their immediate replacement with a new breed of soldiers to be deployed immediately, because some of them have overstayed in that place. They are tired of the war. They want to go back home. And in line with the tradition of war and deployments, when a soldier is deployed to an area and he is tired, he is replaced immediately. You cannot take a soldier to the war front and leave him there for several years. So, Mr. Speaker, this war has dragged too long. In fact, the civil war lasted for only 3 years. Why should a war involving ragtag, lumping vagabonds last for 7 or 10, last for 10 years? So it's really unfortunate. So part of our resolution must be the total withdrawal of all the armed forces in that area and their replacement. Thank you.
And I represent Abia South. The writer, George Orwell, made a very profound statement, which I will quote. He says that in times of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. We are being told every day to be patriotic. We are being told here that we shouldn't say anything against. We are being told that, oh, you shouldn't talk about the past. You should focus on the present. Yet, on this floor, rather than focus on what we're supposed to talk about, we go back to say, oh, during 2015, oh, the Chibok girls happened, and oh, we are now rescuing people. People were not rescued at that time. During Chibok, 17 local governments in Katsina were not having parleys with bandits. People in Kebbi were not leaving all the rural areas and coming to only the urban areas to stay. People in Niger were not being kidnapped. So why do we need to? At any time we need to talk about the present issues of today. We go back to start to look for excuse for our failures of today. I only want to say, let us do the right thing. We're not blaming this government for what they are finding itself, but it is the government in power, and they should do the right thing. What are the right things? We take only one example. The governor of Kebbi said that somebody ordered troops out and people were kidnapped. Till today, nobody in Nigeria knows what happened, and no question has been asked. And we're sitting down here as a parliament, and we turn and we talk. Yet, somebody is responsible. If I'm the commander-in-chief, I will call the army commander in that place and the head of the army and say, if you don't get me the head of this person, who withdrew the troops to put all these children in jeopardy? then you make an example of him. That is how a country is run. A country is not run on pacification. A country is run on confronting issues. I rest my case.
Because when you invited Senator Abaribe to speak, you went on to reinforce the sentiments expressed by Senator Abaribe. Abaribe is not of APC. And so any attempt by anyone to distract us from what is obviously a national issue is a disservice to our collective desire to stand firm together and find a solution to what is clearly a national problem that has been there for over 20 years. Mr. President, I am not ashamed to affirm that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing his best.
Correct.
He's doing his best. That we have not yet there doesn't mean that he has done anything knowingly, whether by negligence or lack of interest. Under your leadership, Mr. President, you have encouraged us to approve not once, not twice, special supplementary budget to support our armed forces, arising from the request of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those requests were not meant for the armed forces to buy ice cream. It wasn't meant for them to do tobola in military nightclubs. They are meant to strengthen the armed forces, to re-equip them, to give them access to acquire modern technology, and to train, and even now, directive to recruit more men and women into the armed forces. Therefore, there can be no question that President Tinubu is doing his best. In moments like this, the devil can come in and make us so confused that we might turn against ourselves and then, by default, allow the enemy to behave as if he's happy at an upper hand. However, what I think we should do, which under your leadership, even in your statement, you have already encouraged us to come up with such suggestion, is in the light of what we now know, what can we begin to do differently and contribute those ideas to support the executive initiatives? One there, for example, is, and you amplified it, even in greater details than any one of us in this house, when you revisited the statement by the governor of Kebbi State. Nigerians are entitled to know, and it is no longer national secret. The commander of that area who ordered that those men be withdrawn, it is to be a national secret to be kept within military cycle. Nigeria should know the name, and the person should be brought to justice under the Terrorist Act. Number two, Mr. President.
Is it the view of the Senate that the issue is just canvassed now, that should form part of our prayers?
Yes.
Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. That is taken. Yeah. We will form part of our prayers.
Mr.
Yes,
President, under your leadership, we have passed laws that impose death penalty on terrorism. This parliament is on record as having done that. Mr. President, I am troubled when, after all the efforts that security agencies and the prosecuting authorities have to invest to secure conviction, because unfortunately the state cannot behave like a mob. So you have to prosecute, follow due process. I am troubled by the conflicting judgment by various high court judges, where the law says act of terrorism, if convicted, shall attract death penalty. No judge has a right to pronounce less than that. It is only when you have implemented the law, interpret the law, not the sentiment of a judge, the will of the people as conveyed in a law, then the president can decide if there are reasons for him to do so, whether to commute or to reduce. How can an offense that carry death penalty, a judge reduce it to 20 years in prison? That is not acceptable. But he has violated the laws passed by the parliament. Number three, sir, and this will be the last.
Has that happened in Nigeria already?
It has.
That
somebody convicted of terrorism was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
No.
Pardon?
No.
What was it?
No, not saying no. Not saying no.
Can I be allowed to land?
The civil senator, you have,
Mr. President, that is the leader of Assad. They call them, they have a group.
You have 30 seconds.
A terrorist group called Assad.
You have 30 seconds to land, but please be guided.
Okay.
Let's concentrate on the issue in discussion.
I will be guided. Because we have to look at a holistic solution. Because these are sentiments that confuses our people. For example, somebody allegedly kills someone who came to attack him on his farm. And because he killed in self-defense, the man was sentenced to death. But there is no evidence that those who have come to attack farmers and kill farmers, there is no evidence that they have been so convicted, sentenced to death. These are some of the issues we have to deal with so that nobody is given any excuse to misunderstand what is clearly a national challenge. I believe that President Tinubu inherited a situation that was already so complicated that no one of us, if we were to